Hill figure. This is the Star Report, and I'm your host, Star. And let me say this first. Whoo, child. Whoo, child. Tea sippers, let's go. This is going to be messy. Russell Simmons, a good man in my book. We have had multiple meetings. We did lunch one time at the Time Cafe. He has supported me throughout many of my journeys in the world of media. I've never hung out with him. Oh, he used to invite me to come out to the Hamptons, and I always politely declined. Kimora, love you, love you. Kimora Lee has always been great to Star, the Star and Buckwild brand. She never came on the show, and I never held that against her. However, we go back to 1999. We were judges on some type of MTV show, and I was ruthless in those days, and she made it a point to be nice to me. And we saw each other at a party, and then Kimora, there's so much history here. She signed Caution the Gay Rapper, the very first openly gay rapper that was getting airplay on the Star and Buckwild show. She signed him to some type of management, and she got him on MTV. There's history here, but folks, I have a job to do, and that job is to tell. I'm telling. I'm too old to go down, behind some bullshit, the penitentiary. Let me say this early because there's so much here that I want to choose my words carefully, but again, I think they're both dirty. Russell and Kimora, okay? Let me say this for those of you who do know. Russell is, some would say, on the run, living in Bali, where there's no extradition back to the United States of America. Okay? And he has been accused by multiple females of rape. Rape. And I've said it before, and I'll say it again. I do believe, I have no proof, but I do believe, sadly, that Russell was taking pussy back in the days. I believe that. Russell is older than myself. I was born in 1964. It was different back in those days. Russell was on dust, PCP, for years. He spoke about it openly. Now he's into the yoga now, stretching his crotch and all sorts of things and meditating, and that's nice. That's nice, but Russell was ruthless back in the days. I have no proof, again. But for anybody who has smoked dust, or you've had uncles or aunties, or you yourself, that's a different type of high. It's demonic in a sense. You do not have control of yourself. And the accusations are not just one or two people. It's a multitude of females, okay? And let me just say this because I'm going to try and pace myself. But I believe that Kimora, who, according to industry rumors, I say again, industry rumors, she was dating Russell back when she was 15. Now, she'll say 17 or 18. They were married in her early 20s. They have two beautiful young adults together now. And I'm sure you're up to speed on what happened on Father's Day. One of Russell's beautiful daughters lying up in the bed crying, crocodile tears. But if you go through her IG page, you see somebody who's just self-absorbed, vanity-driven. And this is where this whole thing kicked up at first. Again, I believe that Russell's past needs to be not just examined, but you need to look at Kimora Lee Simmons as well. In my opinion, she's just as bad as R. Kelly's ex. What is her name? Andrea, something like that? They have both been very, very respectful to me, again, over the decades. But I've got a job to do, and that job is to be honest and objective. That's why we call this the objective perspective. I've got somebody on the line who's going to assist me. Hang on a second. Is that you? Okay, sit tight. I see you. Sit tight. This person wants to go 10 toes down. And I'm going to let this person go 10 toes down because There's a lot here. Again, industry rumor. Kimora met Russell when she was 15. They got married somewhere around 1999. Correct me if I'm wrong. Some of my dates are, not dead on, but, prior to the year 2000, they got married. The accusations at Russell go back for decades. Decades. So, fast forward, Kimora up on Father's Day. I guess she was responding to people going at her, one of her daughters. I'm not sure which one. Is it Aoki? Most people, including myself, would say that that girl was shaming her father. I didn't like that. But that's the way the newer generation gets down. It's what it is. They're born into the matrix. They're born into the bullshit. So it's nothing for them to grab a goddamn phone, go live, and tell the world. I really want to defend Russell, but I find it hard. I want to defend him, but I find it hard because of his past experience with PCP, smoking wet. I also want to say this regarding Kimora Lee Simmons. She never dropped his last name. So legally, if you ask me, if somebody were to want to sue Russell and they can't get a hold of Russell, they should sue Kimora. They were in business together. She took over Fat Farm. She became the CEO. She signed off on everything. Everything. And she said in that video that most of us watched recently, she knew everybody. She's a likable person. A likable person. And that's part of the bullshit. On that live, she was sitting there and what are you doing in here? Get out of here. Talking to some underage kids. Wanting us to know that the kids look up to her. Telling her daughter, get out of this live. Go do your modeling. I'm going to try and pull back on their two daughters. But this person coming up next is not going to be so easy. To Kimora's credit, she's got 5 beautiful children. And the 2 daughters with Russell, I think both of them are Ivy League graduates. So we're not looking at, Willow and what is it, Jaden? We're not looking at the Smith kids who have no fucking education. All right, so take it easy on their kids. One or two of them used to work at the UN. They've done charity work. Even though I don't see the charity work on her Instagram. Correct me if I'm wrong. But I think Kimora knows more than what she is alluding to. She's an advocate for women's rights, yes? Where was she when Drew Dixon and the rest of these females were claiming that Russell was taking the pussy? There's no other way to say it. Where was Kimora? Well, she was in the cut because, again, she was with Russell when she was very, very young. She was the top attraction in his eyes. I don't want to use the B word when I refer to Kimora, but I'm going to have to use it this one time. She was the bottom bitch. She was the bottom bitch. She was the hottest, and she's a good-looking woman. I say this with all due respect. She's better looking than her daughters. Still. And we give Kimora a pass. Don't we, troll babies? Because of Russell. And she knows it. That's another part of why she has kept his name. She knows the urban community, the hip-hop audience. We love Russell, in spite of the PCP and all the other shit. We love him. So she kept the last name because if she didn't keep the last name respectfully, who would give a fuck about Kimora Lee? So, as I said, I'm going to be a little bit all over the place, but I had to lay some of this out first. And if I didn't make it clear, let me say it again. Having said all of that, I want to see Kimora in steel bracelets. Somebody has to answer to the accusations of the females who are trying to sue Russell. And he's in Bali, so they can't get him. He creeps back in and out of town. We'll get to the other stuff with the kids, on Instagram. That's not really my world. I don't have biological kids. I've got thousands of kids. But I don't have that firsthand knowledge like many of you do. Your kids say all sorts of crazy shit and you forgive them. Okay, let me bring in area code 732, the person who put me up to speed on all of this tea yesterday. Are you there? Good afternoon.
Hey, Star.
Rugarani.
How are you?
I'm great. We talk all the time. They don't have to know all of that, but nice to hear your voice. You woke me up early yesterday and said, "Big nigga, it's going down. Are you up to speed?" And I said, "What?" And you were telling me about Kimora. Where do you want to start? I want you to just go where you want to go. I'm not going to interrupt. Where do you want to start? With Kimora, the daughters, her ex-husband, convicted fucking scammer. Where do you want to start, Ronnie?
Oh, we're going to get to all of that, but I just want to preface everything I'm about to say because I heard your opening intro, your monologue, and I want to say that two things can be true because I know that you said you don't want to rush to defend Russell, but two things can be true. Russell can be Mr. PCP man. He can be Mr. Nasty man. He could have a million allegations swirling against him. Right. Kimora can also be a bitter baby mama who's grandstanding on the gram, putting 20 on 10 to further sully his name. So what I'm going to say is not in any way a defense of, these accusations that have been leveled against Russell over the years. Okay. But I want to start with the genesis of this situation. All right, because the entire fallout began when their oldest daughter, Ming Lee, uploaded the story to her Instagram wishing her mother, Kimora, a happy Father's Day. Okay. Kimora then reshared the post to her own IG stories. And then following that, Russell put up a meme in his stories that said, stop telling fathers that they should have fought harder to see their children and start asking mothers why he had to fight. So immediately after that, various blogs began reposting everything. And instead of folks taking the side of Kimora and her daughter, many people began criticizing them and calling the daughter a spoiled and ungrateful brat and questioning her part in poisoning the well of Russell's relationship with his children. Okay. So as the backlash grew louder and louder, and after Kimora realized that things weren't going in her favor in the court of public opinion, she took to her Instagram Live to drag Russell and basically air him out, changing his name from Russell Simmons to Muscles Women's, insinuating about his involvement with other men, making various claims about his financial situation, calling him broke. But in her own words, the crux of this problem is his quote-unquote financial abuse of the family, wherein he has stopped providing an allowance for their adult daughters. Now, I don't believe Kimora when she says that she's only going live to the public in response to Russell's meme that he posted, because it was a harmless response to her having maligned him as a deadbeat dad to her 2 million followers. It was an innocuous meme, and it did not warrant all the boo-hooing and crocodile tears and ugly crying that Kimora, performatively put on display. And while we're talking about performative displays, I find it incredibly disingenuous of her to now use this situation to declare herself as some sort of champion for women's rights and victims. Right. Because she made She made several inferences to lingering accusations that have been made against him. And she postured as if she has firsthand knowledge of him having this long sordid history of being some sort of predator or sexual deviant.
Right.
She said specifically, I'm not the one who committed all of these atrocities and fled the country. Now, while that may be true that she has not fled the country, in trying to villainize him by lending her own credence to the claims made by his accusers, she's acknowledging that she herself has provided aid and cover to a man that she now proclaims to be some sort of serial predator. Mm-hmm. Now, why is that important? Well, it's a proverbial bite your tongue to spite your face scenario, because by Kimora's own account of the facts, not only does she have prior knowledge of his prior transgressions and wrongdoing,
she was there,
but she herself has taken She herself has taken financial responsibility and funding his payroll of his companies and compensating various individuals.
Bingo.
So essentially, Russell has gone from being father of the year and a wonderful co-parent to being this deranged and unhinged predator who she now wants to tell us that he groomed her when she said she was a sophomore in high school and he was 35 years old at the time. Right. Never mind the fact that they both claim that their May-December romance was sanctioned and encouraged by Kimora's own mother.
Yeah. Yeah.
See, back then,
out of St.
everyone
Louis.
turned a blind eye.
Yeah, she's from St. Louis, for those who don't know. Go ahead, I'm sorry,
Right. And see, back then, everyone turned a blind eye. But in today's climate of Me Too and Protect All Women, see, it's very manipulative and very convenient for her to now, speak on their age difference and insinuate that he groomed her and he trapped her into becoming a young bride and a young mother. It's just a further effort to malign his character. But I'm here to say that that's not any new tea. So by her going there only shows how low she's willing to go to turn the public against Russell.
Right.
It's manipulative, it's bitter behavior, and it sets an atrocious example for her daughters, one of whom set the entire situation into motion with that Father's Day post to her. Now, let's get to the daughters.
Yeah. Now, hang on a second. Ronnie, you're doing a great job. Guys, if you're a newer viewer or listener, this is Ruger Ronnie. She helped me quite some time ago with the Star Report. She's very well known and very, very up to speed and informed. Okay, so the first female to come out was not the one that we see, the first daughter crying. That's Aoki?
That's Aoki.
Okay.
The daughter who initially made the Father's Day post is Ming Lee. That's the older sister.
Okay. Please continue. Go ahead.
Okay. Now, I know that you didn't want to spend too much time yourself speaking about the daughters, but they're both adults. So I feel it's appropriate to speak.
Ronnie, go in. Go in if you need to. Go ahead.
Okay. So now, I saw the video made by the younger daughter, Aoki, where she's hysterically rambling on about her father. And, she's basically borrowing a page from her mother's playbook and attempting to paint him as this crazed individual.
Right.
I saw all of the screenshots of their conversations that she posted, and I have to say, contrary to her assertions that her mother has not manipulated her against Russell, it was very clear to me that Kimora definitely has prejudiced her daughters against Russell. If we take one of the very screenshots that Ming Lee posted, she's obviously taken the side of her mother, at least with respect to the ongoing litigation between Russell, Kimora, and Kimora's now estranged husband, Tim Leisner, who, by the way, like you said, is a convicted scammer and fraud and bigot. Oh, and by the way, if you look at the timeline of events, everything between Russell, Kimora, the kids, and even the stepfather was all good publicly up until Kimora's husband, Tim Leisner, pled guilty to a fraud involving $4 billion, wherein he received a $44 million fine. And Kimora then pledged shares from the investment partnership between the three of them to secure a bond for Tim.
Hang on a second. Ronnie, hold on 1 second. When you and I spoke earlier, I said I'm concerned that Kimora may be a homewrecker because there's something online about that guy Tim. Supposedly Kimora didn't know he was married. He created an email account and photoshopped some stuff. I think that's bullshit. I think she may be a homewrecker. She knew he was married and moved in anyway. I mean, I have no proof. I just want to say that. Go ahead.
Well, we know that when Kimora dates, she dates up. She doesn't date anyone with less than her. So when she saw this, high-powered Goldman Sachs executive looking her way, I'm not surprised that she was tricked by, in her words, by some fake email accounts. I mean, she claimed to be a college-educated woman, and you never got on the phone with his ex-wife to verify that he was indeed divorced. So I'm not buying that. I don't think she cared that the man was married. I think that she saw her next big wallet. So, yes. Allegedly, she was duped by a fake email account where he pretended to be.
Yeah, I don't believe that. And she did marry down one time with the Amistad nigga. What's his name? Give us free, whatever his name is. She didn't take his name. She's still running with Russell.
Simon Hansen.
Yeah, yeah. That nigga ain't popping. He was never popping. That one film, Amistad. I'm sorry. Go. You were saying? Go ahead.
Okay, so but going back to the screenshot, Russell mentions Kimora when Kimora having stolen his money, and Aoki replies, "She didn't steal it. You lost the money on your own actions." And let me just take a second here to just pause and acknowledge the audacity on display here. Okay, imagine being the breadwinner of your family, taking care of them, supporting them, even publicly for many years after the divorce.
Right.
Your wife is, had baby after baby with man after man. And now you have your adult daughter telling you that $250 million that was taken by your ex-wife and her new man to secure his bond is gone because of your own action.
Right.
I would be livid too. So when she posts the footage of him visually agitated and seemingly yelling, but without any audio, I'm not moved. Yeah. Because remember, the backdrop of this entire situation is this legal case between Russell Kimora and the husband, and it's centered on the money that was taken to use to keep him out of jail.
Yeah, Ronnie, if I can jump in for a second, hold on. I want to add a little context here because you're doing a great job giving us context, but people from the urban community seem to be focused on two things. Does Russell like Badussy, and is he broke? I can say I've had multiple sit-downs with this man. And as I said, we've had lunch and other things. Russell is, he's in his mid-60s. He's from that generation, and I'm from that generation where you always play broke. I ain't got nothing. And people from, again, my era, his era, older than me, you can go to them with an idea, but I'm not just going to give you a ton of goddamn money. I'm going to say, well, how do we get the money? And he was known for saying that. People could go to him and he'd say, well, hey, I like your group, but how do we make money? And you're right, with regards to him suing Kimora, I don't know if that lawsuit is over or not. I don't think he's broke. I just don't think he throws money around. He's never been known to do that. His daughters now are in their early 20s, flying all around the goddamn world, south of France and all these other places, and she got heartbroken because her fucking debit card didn't work in Paris or somewhere. Go ahead. Just had to say that.
Yeah, the debit card didn't work. The debit card didn't work in Greece.
Yeah.
Now, but see, if you're going to provide so-called receipts, show the whole receipt. Don't give me a muted clip and try to solicit sympathy. For all I know, he was raging because he maxed out his Amex card. I don't know.
Right.
But what I do know, based upon her own quote-unquote receipts, is that she is clearly on the side of her mother, and the manner in which she addresses her father in communications, even at her adult age, is incredibly disrespectful and out of line. She was saying, you're a sick man, you're crazy, you're a child. So if Russell has indeed stopped providing an allowance to these brats, I don't blame him. If his intent was to force Kimora to have to foot the bill for their financial upkeep, as she claims, that's his intent by cutting them off, well, then good. If Russell has, in fact, said, ask your mother for money, not me, as they claim, good. He's well within his rights to. Yeah. They're not babies who need diapers and food. They're full-grown adults who have chosen to side with their mother, a woman who claims to be so financially well off in comparison to Russell, a woman who sat up on that live first thing in the morning on Juneteenth, no less, to tell us about how she has been, financially taking care of a Black cultural icon. So if she's the boss lady that she claims to be, and he's as indigent as she claims him to be, then there's nothing wrong with him telling the girls to go get the money from their mother. She's obviously got it, according to her. And she's also, she has the same, this audacity that she has been displayed by her daughter. The nerve of Kimora framing the situation as financial abuse when her current husband is facing 25 years right now at this moment for actual financial abuse to the tune of $4 billion.
I thought he was convicted.
Now, whether or not...
Has he been sentenced yet?
No, he's convicted and awaiting sentencing. He's facing 25 years.
Okay.
So now,
go ahead.
Whether or not Russell is a nasty man who did abhorrent things to women in the past is irrelevant. Despite, Kimora's attempt to link his past to the current turmoil, I don't want to hear from the woman who stood by his side for years when accusations were being made on that front. If anything, if you're going to air the men out publicly, tell us more about those men you mentioned. Give us the boy tea. If you have first-hand knowledge of Russell,
hang on, Ronnie. Hold on. Go back. You say give us the what? Say that again.
I said I want Kimora to give us the boy tea. Tell us about the boys, honey. Yeah. I mean, if you have firsthand knowledge.
Where is the boy? Or boys? Come out wherever you are. Yeah, now's the time.
Put that where?
Put that where? Now is the time. Where are the boys? Yeah, I didn't like that with her sitting there and whoever she was talking to, some black broad in the background as Kimora sitting there live and she's playing on her hair. And she looks good at her age, but she's playing on her hair and then she tries to allude to, bisexual activity. And then you got some black woman in the background. Whoop. Well, as you just said, you give us the tea. Give us that tea and tell us who was freebasing. Tell us who had a finger in the ass. Tell it all, goddamn. Hang on a second, Ronnie. I gotta go to Cash App, guys. If you're just now joining me, Ruger Ronnie back in the building. She never left. She's just busy as hell. Victor Moan Jr. I got your donation. When the money goes, the women turn their backs. Okay. Sir Shy, I got your donation. I hope Russell cut the money off from ungrateful kids. Okay. Okay, Sir Shy, sit tight. I see you. Area code 510. Sit tight, Sir Shy. Jamal, I got your donation. I haven't spoke about Zion being threatened with the sex tape. Who cares at this point? I mean, he admitted to tricking a sex tape. I don't care about that, but thank you for your donation. Blade says Kimora thought she upgraded when she married that scamming. Okay, Blade going in 10 toes down. Yeah. Okay. Ronnie, hang on a second. Sir Shy is on the line. You got a minute? This man spends Skrilla. Sir Shy, are you there, sir? Sir Shy.
Yo, what's going? Yeah, I'm here. Calling live from Oakland, California. What's going on, Star? What's up,
man,
Ronnie?
Thank you for your support as always. Where do you want to start, man? Russell, does he like Badussi? Do you care? Where are we?
Hey, Russell. No, I can't, man. I don't really care. I was actually watching Crush Groove the other day. Okay. Brought back so many memories. So I'll give Russell a pass. I don't even want to dig that deep. But to Ronnie's point about Dijman Hansu, which is Kimora Lee's second husband, yeah, he didn't really pop off after Amistad, but he does have some roles as Shazam in the new DC movie. So, he's doing his little bits and parts here and there. But like my super chat said, I'm just glad that Russell, hopefully he cut the spigot off. And, salute to black women for finally kind of getting off the sisterhood code and actually calling out Kimora Lee. And that has to be the Asian side, because I would never, Vanessa and Angela Simmons would never do that to their dad.
Facts.
To their uncle. They would never throw their uncle under the bus like that.
Facts.
So it's just very disappointing. So that's really the only quick point I wanted to make, man. I'm driving to San Francisco on my way to work.
Good to hear from you, man.
I'm just going to tune in and listen to the program.
Thank you, man. Salute, Sir Shah. Thank you for your support as always.
Oh, no problem. Have a good day.
Okay. Hang on a second. Guys, Ruger Ronnie is on the line with me here. We're talking about Kimora Lee Simmons going in on Russell on Father's Day. The daughter, Aoki. Ronnie, did both of the daughters graduate from college? Or is it just one? I forget.
Yes, both daughters have graduated from college.
Good for them. Good for them, you know. But again, I mean, Kimora's been very, very nice to me, but that ain't got shit to do with shit. You know, she was born in 75 or probably 73, you know. They always fabricate their ages. So she was there in the 80s, you know, or mid to late 80s, the 90s. In New York. She didn't go to college, so she was learning everything like myself, trial and error. She went to college later, somewhere around 2017 or 18, did an online class for 1 year, got some type of degree. That's nice. But when she was with Russell, I truly, truly believe she saw things going down and just didn't want to chime in. Ronnie, back to you. Where do you want to pick it up at?
Well, I'm going back to the boy tea.
Let's go.
We want to see the receipts. If you have knowledge of that, tell us. Yeah. Because I'll be thoroughly entertained by that. I don't find this situation at all amusing. You know, these disrespectful little brats, you know, wishing the mother a happy Father's Day, which it's never acceptable for a child to, you know, credit their mother for being their father, or for a mother to declare herself a father. You're not a father. You were their mother. And until you had this financial dust up with your new husband and your ex-husband, you made him out to be Father of the Year. Yeah. Now, I don't know the particulars of Russell's finances, but even still, $250 million is nothing to brush aside as a smaller, inconsequential loss. Yeah. So if Russell is angry with Kimora, he has every right to be. If Russell is telling the grown daughters, don't ask me for money, ask your mother, he has every right to. Yeah. And I vehemently disagree with those who are going along with this narrative that, oh my God, Russell is being mean to his family. He's crazy. He's deranged. Look, he's yelling in this video where you can't hear what he's saying. Well, if he is, he's earned the right to be. Kimora is putting on like a bitter baby mama, and not only has she opened the door for their own children to disrespect their father publicly, in true baby mama fashion, now she's looking to garner support from the general public and her feud with Russell. So in other words, she's just mad and looking for co-signers to pile on and further villainize Russell. She's no different than any other baby mama who gets up on the internet and drags the baby daddy and makes him out to be, you know, the worst person in the world.
Hold that thought 1 second, Ronnie. Hold on, because there's some things I want to make sure that I put forth here today, having had firsthand experience seeing them at parties together, industry events. She loved him. They loved each other. It was like it was so sweet watching the two of them. Sometimes you would get a cavity just looking at them. I have no firsthand knowledge, but I feel like she is R. Kelly's ex-wife. She saw the bullshit going down. And, you know, he used to tolerate a lot from her. I forget what year that was. There was some interview, I don't know whether it was Charlie Rose or somebody interviewing the two of them. And Russell was he was trying to talk about wellness and reading and something. And she just cut him off and she said, "You can't read." I mean, loud. I mean, just. So she was always a little out of control. Not that you know, is saying that she didn't have her own mind, but, you know, she had a say so. I guess that's what I'm trying to say. She had a say so. She just wasn't a puppy dog. She didn't have to just sit back and accept what's going on. Any knowledge, Ronnie, with regards to, I mean, not that you have to, but with regards to the lawsuits and Russell and him being out of the country, or is that not really of interest?
So with respect to the lawsuit, because there are two different lawsuits. There's a suit wherein Russell is suing Kimora and the husband, Tim Leisner. Okay. And then there is a counter suit that Kimora has against Russell for her legal fees that she put forth to fight the case against her that he filed.
Okay.
So in his lawsuit, the background of that is that Russell, Kimora, and Tim Leisner formed a partnership and a investment firm. And they owned they were the majority stock owner in the company Celsius. That's those energy drinks that you might see, you know, at 7-Eleven or whatever. And so what happened was they took their shares and used that to secure bond for Tim when he was, you know, at the height of his legal troubles. Because again, he had to put up a bail package to stay out of jail and secure his bond. And also he's been hit with a $44 million fine by the court. So Russell is saying you didn't have the right to take those stocks and put those up to secure his bond package or to put towards his fines. You didn't have the right to do that. So that's what their legal fight is. And Kimora's saying, yes, I did have the right because you had already sold your shares that you had. And I do know that he has been ordered to pay her about $100,000 in legal fees for her lawyer.
Wow. Okay. Again, I have no proof, but back in those days, man, you know, people were freebasing, doing coke, and he admitted to a lot of things with regards to angel dust, blowing down the wet, dipping cigarettes in embalming fluid. But yes, he has changed, but that does not excuse what may have happened prior to him making this great change. Hang on a second, Ronnie. I want to just acknowledge a few people by way of their donations. Blade says, I call cap on Kimora's abuse claims. If there was any abuse, it was, Kimora abusing Russell. Well, like I said, she's always been feisty. She wasn't some type of puppy dog girl, you know? She's always had her own say. She's always been doing her own thing, but at the same time, she's kept his last name. That may not seem like such a big deal to some people, but she kept his name for endorsement and other things, you know, to benefit by way of. Hey, Selena, I got your donation. Thank you so much. Selena says, for playback, I'll watch later. Thank you. Thank you, Selena. Okay. Hold on, Ronnie. Deuce. Somebody claiming to be Deuce Ronnie. I'm back with a Newport Light and a roundhouse wheel kick combo. Pow pow. Okay, Dre at Grave Shift. Okay, Dre, you're repeating what Russell used to say about Asian women. I'm not going to do that right now. Not that we can't, but you know, it's a little hard shot for the afternoon. Okay, but thank you for your donation. Big Ikea, I got your donation as well. All right, Spring area code 225. Good afternoon. We're talking about Kimora Lee Simmons and her accusations towards Russell.
Doing,
hey, who's this?
This Kid Danger, what's up?
Hey, what's up, man?
Yeah, what's up, man? What you said? I had, you seen what I had showed you?
Yeah, but listen, I can't talk about people like that unless, you know, we plan that out. And that person, if that's a private citizen, we have to figure out how not to mention that person's name. You can't just bring me into something legal. You feel me?
Yeah, it's not nothing legal. It's a beef. It's not legal. Hello?
Yeah, no, I'm here, but let's keep it real, man, and I want to stay on topic here. You've got a record, man, for stalking, kidnapping, and you're sending me emails about somebody that, you know, you've got an issue with, right? Let's keep it real.
Yeah, me and my goons got an issue with him.
Okay, let's talk behind the scenes. Ronnie, do you remember Kid Dangerous? Ronnie's on the line with me, Kid Dangerous.
Yes, I do. His voice sounds a lot deeper than I recall.
How you doing right now? How's it going?
I'm doing all right. And yourself, how are you?
Well, look, man, let's talk.
Yes, good. Yeah, I'm doing great. You said I got to donate.
Yeah. Well, listen, when's the last time you sent a donation? You're sending me emails about lining niggas up, man. Get that donation here and let's talk behind the scenes later, okay?
Hey, hold on. I got the donation. Hold on.
Okay. I got to go, man. Thank you. Okay. Whew, kid dangerous. Do you remember his, well, let's not talk about that right now. Let's go to area code 630. Good afternoon, 630. Are you up to speed? Kimora kicking Russell's back in. 630.
Yeah. Definitely. All I want to say is females throw stones and hide their hands. Okay. I don't think if she did this on Father's Day weekend, whatever.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? That's something that's a battery that Kimora Lee put in her daughter back. You follow what I'm saying?
Yeah.
For real, man.
Yeah.
For real. No BS, you feel me? Cause these and I know you got females that follow you, so I ain't gonna flex. None of that.
No, listen to me. Flex. Let's have that real conversation because I've already said, even though I like Kimora, I think she should be arrested. She knows more than what she's alluding to. Ronnie, what's Giselle Maxwell? How do you say her first name? Epstein's. What's that?
Ghislaine Maxwell.
Ghislaine Maxwell. Kimora is like that person, if you ask me. She knows. Go ahead, sir. You were saying? Go ahead.
She knows what's going on. She probably, this is just my opinion.
Come on.
She probably ain't telling how much she done tried to turn him against her own kid. You follow me? Mm-hmm. Man, at the end of the day, man.
Come on.
Females throw stones at their hands, man. I don't even want to go hard, for real. I know you want me to go in.
Well, sir, if you're scared, just say you're scared. Don't try to put it on me. If you're scared, nigga, just say, nigga, I'm scared.
No, it ain't anything about being scared. It's just about what the masses think. Women, females are protected, and they stun on Buddy.
Mm-hmm.
Man, come on, man.
Okay.
I don't even want to talk about it.
Okay. Thank you for the call, sir. Thank you. Okay, he's scared. I'll let you speak. Ronnie, you ain't scared. You went in on the daughters yesterday. Do you want to continue? There's a lot of echo in the background, Ronnie. Can you hear me?
What about now? Is it echo coming from me?
No, yeah. You're the only one on the line. Okay. So, can you hear me?
I can hear you perfectly. Do you hear an echo still?
Yeah, no, it's better now. The daughters. When you and I spoke yesterday about this, I said I don't really want to go on the daughters. Not that I can't, but I'm not a father, so And Russell has already forgiven them. In case you guys don't know, on his Instagram post, he said God is testing you, breathe, and some other stuff. That's cute. But he's a father, so he's not going to tear their heads off. And to your point, we don't know what he was saying in that video where you couldn't hear the audio. Ronnie?
Right, we don't know. He could have been saying, hey, what the hell are you doing? You maxed out my black card. What is going on?
Yeah.
What are these unauthorized charges on my account? We don't know. But the point is, without any audio, all we can do is speculate. And the purpose of you giving us this visual only is to try to garner support and play this victim and this violin and, oh, my daddy's so mean, he's unhinged, he's deranged. Look at him yelling. Let us hear why he's yelling. Let us hear what he's saying. Why are you hiding that? You're giving us wholesale screenshots of conversations that you're having with him. And, if he's supposed to be the manic individual, all of his responses to his daughter and the screenshots that he provided seem pretty restrained. It's her that's, peppering him with 6 responses in 1 minute. Imagine your phone going off, bing, 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 6 times in 1 minute. Yeah. You're the manic person. You're the unhinged individual.
He could have been screaming, are you still on coke? You're not selling pussy again, are you? I mean, not that she is. I have no knowledge. I went through that shit, so you don't have to. The fuck are you doing? I mean, it could have been that. This is all alleged. I have no proof. Sometimes the apple doesn't fall too far from the tree. Let's try another call, Ronnie. You with me? Area code 917. Good afternoon. 917. Are you ready? Yes, no, maybe? Can you turn that down in the background? If you're not ready, we have to go. Thank you for calling. Okay, 917. Folks, we are taking calls. Rugarani's on the line with me. We're combing through this Kimora Lee Simmons, Russell Simmons fiasco. And again, I'm not just taking Russell's side. Russell was smoking wet back in the days, you know? It's a different type of high. I took some mescaline a couple of times, couldn't handle that. And I smoked some dust. It was like some type of peppermint shit. And I almost fell down. I said, whoa, what? Couldn't do it again. But, you know, I don't, or I should say, I commend him for admitting to all of that. However, back in those days, and I should pull up the women who have made these accusations. Any knowledge on where some of those lawsuits are, Ronnie? The women, grown-ass women now suing Russell, or no?
It appears that everything is pretty much at a standstill because the one thing that Kimora did get right is that Russell has indeed fled the country. So it's hard to get somebody served, you know, who's in a tree hut in Bali.
Oh, no. Run. That nigga's living high up on the hog. If you ever seen him on his lives, he's got some type of fancy fucking, damn near a palace. He's got waterfalls inside and shit. He's living good.
Yeah, he is. That is true. He's living very nicely. But he did flee as soon as, you know, these accusations came to a head.
Yes.
But on the other hand, it's very inexpensive to live in Bali if you are an outsider.
Yeah. Hemp Lord, I got your donation. Thank you for tapping in, sir. Hemp Lord. Ronnie, can we go left for a second? You have been keeping me up to speed on Hunter Biden. Let me pull the story up. He just, has he been charged? Will Hunter Biden be arrested for tax evasion? What's going on with that?
Okay, so he has just now agreed to plead guilty to 2 misdemeanor counts of tax evasion in federal court in Delaware,
right,
and participate in a pretrial program for a firearm offense. And this comes after a multi-year investigation into his tax matters. Right. So the long and short of this case is that he received more than $1.5 million during 2017, and he owed more than $100,000. Which he was required to pay by April of 2018, but he didn't. And then in 2018, he received an additional more than $1.5 million, and again failed to pay. There is a whistleblower who is alleging at the IRS that his entire team was removed from a probe that they were conducting into Hunter's finances. Yeah. There's also a charge where he's alleged to have made a false statement on a federal form when he purchased a gun in 2018. So specifically, he answered no to the question of whether or not he was a drug user or addict, which contradicts widely circulated footage of him smoking crack, along with statements he made in his own memoir where he claims to have smoked crack every 15 minutes, quote unquote, during 2018.
Child, so this is messy. This is messy. Now, hang on a second. Why don't more black people care about this? The president's son is a goddamn crackhead. Meanwhile, you got people going to jail, copping out to 20-year goddamn bids for small possessions. And when you and I spoke about this earlier, you said, oh, he's not going to see any jail time. I mean, I think that this just opens the door for all sorts of lawsuits. People should sue the government if they can. If this guy just beats everything, taxes, firearms, that's a slap in our faces as citizens. Yes? No?
Absolutely. And he's actually going to be able to do a pre-trial program for the gun charge and may even have the case dismissed upon a successful completion of the program. Yeah. Now, even with the disposition of this case, Hunter still has other legal matters lingering that have yet to be worked out, specifically with regards to this love child who he has never seen, who he actually went to court to try to stop from taking his last name. This is President Joe Biden's 7th grandchild, although he just recently said that he has 6 grandchildren. But as recently as last month.
Go ahead.
Say again?
No, I thought you were going to say he's not claiming one. Doesn't he forget about one? Is that the biracial kid?
Yes. Yes, he said the other day that he has 6 grandchildren, but this is actually number 7, and he knows that this child exists.
Yeah.
So, but as recently as last month, Hunter's baby's mama, who's a former stripper that he met at the club when he was living out in D.C., appeared in court to seek a continued child support payments in the amount of $20,000 monthly, despite his team's refusal to turn over financial records about his earnings.
Yeah.
So that's going to be a very long, protracted fight.
Hold on one second, Ronnie. Alpha Villains, where are you, sir? Do you want to call in? This would be the perfect time for Alpha Villains or any other sponsors or advertisers with regards to Kimora Lee. Are you giving her a pass? She's been getting a pass over the goddamn decades. Hip-hop has given her a pass. Kicking this man's back in. 917, good afternoon. Are you there? 917. Talking about Russell Simmons and Kimora Lee.
Star, can you hear me?
Yes, sir. Who is this? How are you?
Okay. I know everything that happened.
Okay.
Hello? Oh, I'm driving right now. Hold on.
Yeah,
Let me
guys,
pull over.
we have a lot of noise in the background. Can we make the adjustments? A lot of noise in the background. You were saying, sir?
I'm on the... I got to call back. I'm driving a bus right now. Damn.
Well, are you?
I got to call back.
Well, no, hang on. Can you put the phone up?
I'm driving a school bus right now, so I'm gonna have to call you back.
Well, no. Go ahead and talk on the headset. Are the kids in the back of the bus? We'll deal with the noise.
No. Drop them off already. Yeah, but I still got the the matrons on the bus. You know.
Okay. All right, call back, man. Thank you. Okay.
All right, no problem.
All right. Okay, he wanted to chime in. T, I got your donation. Star, what do you get when you have an overnight? What? When you have a overnight from L.A. to New York, Michael Jordan and Lil Boosie? The answer, red eyes. Guys, if anybody wants to chime in on a Lil Boosie update, I would so want to hear something, anything. I went to Charleston White's YouTube channel this morning. It seems like he kind of took his foot off the gas. Ronnie, you up to speed on Boosie Badass out there in San Diego? Multiple firearms charges?
Yes, So I don't know what's going on, but I think it's a little bit fishy that they happen to be monitoring his Instagram, and then they happen to see the gun, and just so quickly they were able to get the warrant to pull him over and search the car. So I think that more will be revealed when this case gets disposed of, and we'll find out if there's maybe somebody on Boosie's team who was dropping a dime and helping to blow his cover to the police.
I hope so. I hope there is somebody that sold him out. Now, hang on a second. Have you ever been to San Diego, Ronnie?
No, I have not.
It's a nice place. I was out there in November, and he's walking around with a firearm in his back, his back belt area. They were watching his live, and so I'll go with what you say because you do have some good conspiracies from time to time. I'll say that. He's walking around with the goddamn belt in his back, lower area. It's not a big deal in San Diego to say, whoa. And then they called the helicopter team, and they zone right in on him, and whammo. I don't think it's such a big deal. California is tough on gun laws the same way New York is. Very similar, Just want to say that.
Well,
go ahead.
The other aspect of it is that Boosie got out of the car first, right? Mm-hmm. And so when they asked him, are there any weapons in the vehicle? He said, well, yeah, my bodyguard has weapons. Now, they found 2 guns. Mm-hmm. The one that they alleged that Boosie had in his back waistband, that gun was on the seat in the back. And they put in their report that Boosie yelled out to the security guard, "What the F, man? I thought you said the gun was in the bag." So the gun that was the bodyguard's was in the bag, but the gun that was Boosie's, he just left that on the seat. So, I don't know if he got lined up.
But you saw the gun in Boosie's back belt area. Yes, you saw the video. So it's not like he was framed.
Yeah. Yes. No, I saw the video, and they matched it up to the gun that they found on the back seat where he was sitting. He hasn't been framed, but what I'm saying is, you might have someone in his camp who's saying, "Hey, he's got the heater on him. Okay, now we're leaving.
Right.
Okay, now, you don't know." And then especially, you had time to put the gun into the bodyguard's bag, in which case they wouldn't have been able to say that he's in possession of it, but he left it. And Boosie is stupid for yelling at the guy in front of the cop, because he can't say as a defense now, "No, that wasn't mine."
Okay. William Bobo got your donation. He wants to know where he can send Ronnie a donation. Are you accepting donations yet, Ronnie? You didn't in the past.
They can direct any donations to the platform.
Okay.
Send them that super chat.
Okay. Thank you, Ronnie. Okay. Let's go to area code 703. Good afternoon, early evening, wherever you may be. Are you there? 703, talking about Kimora Lee Simmons going in on Russell.
What's going on, sir? This is your boy. This is the man Rika Alkaline City in the building.
Good to hear from you, man. What's cracking? Good to hear from you.
I don't know. Hey, Star, I've been liking your California YouTube shorts.
Thank you, man.
Boots to the ground. You've been doing your thing, man. Yeah, you've been holding it down, showing the people what a great time you've been having.
Thank you. Okay.
Yeah. Not too much. Don't want to touch on Russell Simmons and his whack ass, and Kimora Lee. But I would definitely like to chime in on, Boosie and. Is Math Hoffa the new Vlad TV?
Well, hang on a second. As you know, Alkaline City, I don't go on other YouTube platforms. It doesn't benefit me. It just doesn't. And it has already been determined that Boosie, with the gun in his back waist, that's where the Fed zoned in on. So I don't want to do that whole Math Hoffa thing, how he interviews people. I don't want to do that. Go ahead.
No, that's not what happened. What happened was he did an interview with Boosie. And when
I saw that, but now hang on a second. Again, I saw that, but I'm not going to dissect how he interviews people. The feds released a statement saying they saw Boosie with the gun in his back waist. So whatever somebody else does on their platform.
No, what happened was, I don't know if you heard Boosie's part on the interview. Boosie said on the interview, he said, "That's what I do." He said, "I trick." He said, we walk around with an entourage with a youngest person.
Right.
And anytime we get in a situation, we make the youngest person take the charge.
Right. I saw that, but again, I'm not going to blame Math Hoffa. It's just not what I do. I don't do that.
Math Hoffa, that was Boosie.
Yeah.
Boosie incriminated himself during that interview.
Yes.
That's what he did.
Yeah.
Matt Hoffa just asked him a question, and Boosie came out. If you ever saw the Vlad interviews with Boosie,
Yes.
always was very outspoken. He never bit his tongue. He always was loose with the words and was always spewing a bunch of information that was not really nonchalant to what was being spoken about. He would always give out information that had to do with his personal, as opposed to just having a entertainment interview. And that's what he did with Math Hoffa.
Yeah.
Math Hoffa was just kind of like joking when he asked him the question, but Boosie came out and just started spilling the beans on everything.
Alkaline City, I don't mean to cut you short, man, but let's move forward. We've already covered this last week. So what do you think happens now? Bail has been denied for Boosie Badass. What happens now? Does he have a bargaining chip? Hang on. Does he have a bargaining chip? Does he have a bargaining chip, or did he just do it to himself and they've got enough on him from multiple interviews and they say, hey, this guy's doing too much. Let's sit him down for 5 or 10 years. What happens now?
What happens now is when you got the feds involved, that means they come in with a big RICO. When they come with that RICO, they going to hit the smack down on him Boosie doing 35 to 50 unless he start yapping. You know, they're going to have him in that interrogation room 24 hours, and we're going to see if he ends up like a gutter or a 69. We'll see if he's really holding it down like he says he does.
Right.
And he's not the 69 that he says he's not.
Yeah.
Or he's not the gutter. Because once they start speaking 35 years, 75 years, 100 years, 150 years, 200 years to life, and you ain't going to never see your family, yeah, we're going to see who gonna really be, you know, 69 and then or what.
Yeah.
But that's all I got to say, Star. I digress with that.
Good to talk to you. Do you have any Puerto Rican news before you go? You are my official Puerto Rican correspondent. Anything we should know about?
Now, right now, you know, Puerto Rico is under a distress right now. You know, we just getting, you know, democratized right now. They're just killing the nationalization, and we just got to keep watching for that. It's a destruction on Puerto Rico.
Okay.
It's meant to make. What they're doing is they want to take the people out of Puerto Rico and make it a tourist attraction.
Yeah.
So that everywhere you go, there's casinos and tourist spots, and there's no mainland people. So that's what it is right now.
Good to talk to you, man. Thank you. Alkaline City, thank you.
Yes, sir. Peace
okay,
out.
Thank you. Peace. Okay, hold on a second, Ronnie. Guys, I don't usually go back. However, some things have developed in the Papoose and Easy, the Block Captain, alleged fight. If anybody has updates, please check in, tap in. Supposedly on Father's Day, which was this past Sunday, Papoose posted a picture of he and the kids without Remy Ma. Last I heard, Easy the Block Captain has still not gone live. And where are we? Troll babies? Anybody got any updates? Any insight? Oh, and thank you to the trolls who have been telling me when people use my video or audio. I gave out, what's today? Tuesday. I gave out 3 copyright strikes yesterday. Oh, yeah.
You get a strike. You get a strike.
Yeah.
You get a strike.
Yeah. You're going to pay me to use my content or you're going to get a goddamn strike. You ain't helping me. I don't need a younger audience. Fuck out of here with that shit. Thank you again to the trolls, people sending me emails. Yo, I'm telling, they used your video in this content right here. Area code 862. Is that Big Elvis, the Chef Rosenberg? 862. Yes, no, maybe? Okay, can you...
Hello?
Hey, good afternoon. Can you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you loud and clear. How you doing?
Okay, I thought you were somebody else. How can we help you, 862?
I just wanted to touch base on the Kimora Lee Simmons. She looked like one of those type of people that's just in it for the check, as she should have been, because she was in her prime. And now she's telling. I think she should do a tell-all book, pop out the video cameras, the tapes, the old tapes, and just get all the publicity that she needs.
Are you trolling or are you serious? I'm looking at your number. Are you trolling or are you serious?
I'm dead serious.
Continue. I'm listening. We're listening.
Yeah, I'm just here for the BS. You know, I just wanted to see it. Just want to see another person go down. I think it's funny.
Gotcha. All right. Thank you for your call. Thank you. Kimora is not going to do a book. Unless she gets jammed up and really has some type of suffering, you know, going on, and she almost runs out of money, we won't see a book out of her. Is that Big Elvis, the Chef Rosenberg, 646? Elvis, are you there, sir?
Big Elvis, the Chef Rosenberg. I am here, Star.
Good to hear from you, man. Rugarani is on the line with me. She called me yesterday early about this tea. Are you up to speed?
I am up to speed. Are we talking about the Kimora Lee and her daughters?
Yes.
Yes, I'm up to speed on that.
Okay.
It's good to hear from you again, Ronnie. How are you, love?
Hey, Elvis. I'm doing very well. And yourself?
I'm good. How's married life treating you?
My life is great. I have not one complaint, Elvis.
I'm sure you haven't been around for a while, so I guess he told you, I'll marry you, but you can't go back on that Star show.
Oh, that's a wonderful conspiracy you have there. Anything on the topic?
Yeah, that's a conspiracy, buddy.
Yeah, that's a conspiracy. Well, it's good to hear your voice. Despite, I'm glad your husband finally, you wore him down and he let you pick
All
up.
right, Elvis, are you on topic? We're talking about Kimora Lee. You can send Ronnie an email. You can holler on the gram. Kimora Lee, Russell Simmons. Are you up to speed?
I am up to speed. I saw the whole thing. I saw when the daughter said, "You met my father one time and he was mad spiritual, so I'm the liar." I thought that was brilliant the way she said that. So I saw all the videos, I read all the text messages, and I have to say, I have a child that's 24 years old, and she's never called me for Father's Day. She's never texted me or put me on her Instagram. And there are many times that I wanted to call her up and say, your mother was a thought who slept with over 60 men before I met her, but I restrained myself. But, what's it called? I see Russell Simmons doesn't have the self-control like I have.
Well, now, hang on a second. To be fair, Russell did respond on his Instagram, and he was very kind to his daughters. He said, God is testing you. Just breathe. He did say he loves them. So he didn't flip off the handle. I mean, they're making him out to be some toxic black man. I don't like that. I don't like that, how society wants to demonize black men, from a generation long gone. I mean, I was born in '64. If I say things, and I've got family members now, younger family members, they say, whoa, but that's, it was a different time. So what?
Well, I think that they've had a lot of restraint for a lot of years, and I think that Russell's very, very angry, and he has to live in Bali just for the budget because he can't probably live in the States. I have a friend of mine who lived in Bali for about 3 years, and he's like, he brought 150,000 with him, and he lasted 3 years in Bali, and he lived like a king. So if he tried that in the United States, it would never happen. So I'm sure Russell's very angry because, in Bali, you're just sitting in your sweat, just nonstop humidity.
Well, now, hang on a second. To be fair, Big Elvis, to be fair, there's no extradition in Bali to the U.S. There's no extradition.
That's the only reason. Yeah.
So now I don't
but
know. Hang on a second. I don't know about the other things. I've never been to Bali. I have no intention on going. But here's what I do know. Russell still gets money from this sale of Def Jam. He gets publishing and other things, a mechanical residual. So is Russell Simmons quote unquote broke? No, I don't believe that. He and Rick Rubin, when they sold Def Jam to Columbia, I mean, at the time, it was a deal that was very in the early stages of people selling labels, publishing royalties and stuff like that. And they have both been still eating off of that for decades. Go ahead.
Yeah, I don't doubt that he's not eating, and our broke representing of what he considers broke is two different things.
Right.
But here's the funny thing about Bali. If you're not a naturalized citizen of Bali, you can only stay there 60 days at a time. Then you have to leave for 2 weeks. So that means Russell is probably going to Turkey. He's going to Istanbul. He's going to all these different places, and then he comes back. So I'm sure that's a toll on a person that you can only be there for a certain amount of days at a time. Then you have to leave for 2 weeks, and I'm sure.
Is he a citizen of Bali? Did he denounce his American citizenship? Do you know that? I don't know.
No, I don't know about that. I know it's not easy though. I know it's not very. They don't make it easy to do those things.
Gotcha.
And and I only know that because of a client of mine. He fell in love and went to Bali, and he did it for 3 years.
Okay.
And he hated every minute of it. But I'm kind of riding. I'm riding for what's his name? What's his guy? For Russell Simmons a little bit. I kind of want him to snap out of this, and I want him to get right with his family and for things to work themselves out somehow, some way,
Okay. And you're a father, for those who don't know. How old is your oldest? I forget, Elvis.
The one that doesn't speak to me, 24 years old.
Okay.
She's 24.
Hey, man.
But the only reason why she doesn't like me, Star, is because she don't know me. So to know me is to love me. That's a fact.
When you say like, she doesn't like you, those are strong words. I do believe, even though I don't have any biological kids, that there is a period when younger people stray away from their parents. There's no hatred. It's just, hey, I got to get away, do me. I love you. I like you, but I got to get away and come back at a later point in time. Am I wrong? You said she doesn't like you.
I would co-sign that all day.
Okay.
But sometimes, these kids, they get stuck, Okay. They get stuck in rooting for their mothers. Like, my daughter, she still believes the things that she believes, and I tell her, like, you only believe what a child believes, and now you're an adult. It's time to move on.
Right. Okay.
But
Elvis, got to go, man. Take more calls. Good to talk to you, man. Thank you. Thank you, Big Elvis, the Chef Rosenberg. Guys, hold on a second. Here's my email address on the screen for advertising. If you're new to the show, we do 30-day promo campaigns. We send you analytics so you can see what's going on. Please, if you get an email with a response and the attached PDF, look at the analytics. See if it makes sense with respect to your target demo. Your target demo has to coincide with what it is that we do. Also, if you're in that community section, please always leave a comment under your banner with a link. If there's anybody who doesn't have a wrench for the live chat and you're a sponsor, reach out to me so that you can promote in that live chat, okay? Ronnie, hold on a second. Let me go to Cash App. Blade says check email. Thank you, Blade. I will. Give me a second. Newt8282 says, I'm driving a school bus to Russell's house. LOL. Stacy Glore, Mr. Simmons likes Badussi, ? Child, that's old news. That's what was the focus yesterday from what I could see, Ronnie. Yes, no, on social media. People were curious to know if Russell still in 2023 had relationships with men back in the days. Sheesh.
That's what I want to know. I want the boy tea. I don't care if he's mean and cut the girl's allowance off. I don't care about any of that. As far as I'm concerned, they're adults who go get the money themselves. And speaking of that last name, one of his daughters, Aoki, was saying, he said, I'll never work again. Well, it's a wash. Because the only reason you're working is because of your last name. Because let's be real here. You're just an average light-skinned girl. It's nothing special or, particularly abstract about you that should get you into, all these big-name catwalks. She's the average light-skinned girl.
Come on, Ronnie. Come on. I was just saying, Go ahead. You have the floor.
Little smart mouth, half a low main eater.
Whoa! Okay, listen. This isn't the evening show. You got to bring that down a notch or two. Hey, also, Aoki, she took down her I'm going to say attacks on her father. She took those down off the gram, yes?
Yes, she took it down, but she did leave up where some screenshots of where she's previously wished him a happy Father's Day and doted on him, and with the caption, "Oh well, I tried, you guys," and now it's just just going to be back to her regular content. But I was looking through her page, and I noticed that when she's just doing regular selfies or whatever, her engagement is like 20, 30, 40 comments. Well, with the way that she was dragging him, I noticed she's 5,000, 6,000, 7,000 comments on her post, which makes me question, what are you really doing this for? Is this just for clout on the gram? Because otherwise, people can care less about you? Or, did your white boyfriend influence you to drag your father publicly? What is it? What's going on here?
Hang on, Ronnie, can you go back? What'd you say? I missed that. Ronnie, with the
I was wondering Well, I was wondering whether her white boyfriend, influenced her to disrespect her father publicly. Plausible.
It is plausible.
She mentioned the boyfriend several times.
Turning on the black father. And I didn't see too many pictures of Russell on her IG page. I was scrolling down. I got tired of scrolling. I said, what is this? Stop Asian hate. Sheesh. Guys, Rugarani's on the line with me. We are combing through this Kimora Lee Simmons video and audio. Hold on a second. That has recently been released. And Ronnie, you said it yourself. You want the boy T. What, was there a boy or are there boys?
There are multiple boys, Star. Come on. Why would there be just one? A leopard does not change its spots. And Kimora knows she was probably, holding the lube in those scenarios. I don't know.
Does she have a
She knows.
Does she have a history of drug use? Was she blowing down the wet too? Was she smoking?
Well, she was
embalming fluid.
Arrested when they lived together at that old estate that they had in New Jersey. At one point, she was arrested and busted with weed in the car. But Russell made that case disappear, so she never, faced any real consequences because back then, weed was still illegal. So
I thought that was coke.
I do know about.
I thought that was coke. You sure?
I will look up the case right now.
Hang on, I'm a Google too. In the meantime, Blade, I got your donation. Blade says, Star, I'm not defending Hunter Biden, but nigga, all caps, nigga, I know you, all caps, ain't sitting up there pointing the finger at anybody about tax evasion. Blade, I file my taxes. I pay my taxes. I pay them a little slow sometimes, but I am not a tax evader. Thank you for your donation. Juno got your donation. Nice hearing Ronnie on the show again. Salute, hater. Thank you. Yeah, let me Google this as well. Come on, I could have sworn it was cocaine. Yes, no?
I got it.
Go ahead.
From CNN.com, hip hop mogul's wife busted for pot. That's 2004. From Today.com, Kimora Lee Simmons to receive probation, but they had dropped the drug possession charge. So she had refused to pull over. She was charged with that, eluding a police officer, possessing marijuana, careless driving, and operating a vehicle while possessing drugs. That's from the NewYorkPost.com, all from 2004. I don't see any mention of cocaine, just marijuana.
Saddle River, New Jersey.
That was where their former estate was.
Now, wait a minute. Why would you not stop in Saddle River?
Because she said, why am I going to stop? I'm going to my estate. You can't arrest me. You can't pull me over. Do you know how rich my husband is? I'm going home.
No. You're in Saddle River. You should feel relaxed. You pay a shitload of taxes. You like the police because they protect your community. You would not stop unless you're on some type of, narcotic, allegedly. I've been there, driving home on the powder, shaking. I gotta get home. Jumpy, you think you're hearing shit. Somebody beeps the horn. You go into the goddamn ditch. Weed doesn't make you not want to stop. Folks, this is all alleged. I'm scrolling. I'm looking for cocaine. Okay, Carr says her family won't be bullied. Anyway, hold on a second. Someone was on the line, then they dropped out. Is this the bus driver? Area code 917. Good afternoon. Ronnie's on the line with me. Are you there? 917.
917, yeah, it's the bus driver.
Hey, what's up, man? No, you're not. No, you're not. Who am I speaking to? You're
No, that's me. I told you about the matron.
Okay. What's cracking, man? Yes, sir.
Yes, let me tell you, because I hate Russell Simmons. So this nigga disrespected me 10 years ago. I don't know if. Hold on, let me pull over.
Okay.
Damn.
Come on.
That's fucking nuts.
Take your time, sir. Take your time.
Yeah, hello? Yeah.
You have the floor. Go ahead.
Yeah. I don't know if you ever been on in Battery Park movie theater, the Regal movie theater.
Yes,
I don't know if you're familiar over there.
I used to live in Battery Park. So the theater.
Okay.
The theater was. Hang on. The theater was built somewhere around 2003 or 2002, I think.
Yes.
Go ahead.
The movie theater, the Regal movie theater. Yes. Like if you want to take out a date over there,
you go upstairs.
Real nicely.
You go upstairs. Go ahead.
Yes. And I'm with first date, beautiful girl, and Russell Simmons walking there with two model-looking chicks, real skinny but beautiful.
Okay.
And he walked towards us, and there was a couple white people there. It shook everybody's hand except us. Like he skipped us. Even everybody was looking at us like, damn, what's wrong with them? So I hated that nigga ever since.
Well, now, hang on a second, sir. What were you doing inside the theater? Did you work there? Were you at the refreshment stand?
No, I was on a date.
Okay.
First date. I was trying to impress her. Nice place. Celebrity coming there. Come on. That was a great time to make me look good. Shake my hand. I was like, oh, hey, how you doing? This nigga skipped me and went to all the white people. And I hated that nigga ever since.
Sir, I'm so glad you called back in. Hang on a second. Ronnie, what are your thoughts? This man is admitting to being thirsty in the movie theater, and I believe him. The Battery Park theaters. Hang on, just give me a second, sir. Give me a second. They were fly as shit. I used to go there from time to time. So Russell is shaking people's hands, just on some star-studded shit, and he doesn't even acknowledge you, and you've held this grudge all these years, yes?
Oh yeah.
Ronnie, jump in there.
I've been praying.
Sit tight,
for
sir.
something wrong to happen to him.
Sir, sit tight. Ronnie, jump in there. Your thoughts, please.
Well, is that the sole reason why you dislike him? Because he ignored you?
Yes.
Is that what it is?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So then really you're just an undercover fan then. You're disgruntled. You're a disgruntled fanboy.
But it's a celebrity. What are you talking about?
He didn't hear you, Ronnie. Can you say it again?
Why would you
Sir, can you hold on?
And guess what?
Hang on. Let Ronnie speak.
We're the only black people there.
Sir, let Ronnie speak. Go ahead, Ronnie. You said again?
Okay, sir, but you've just admitted that your only axe to grind with him is that he ignored you. So really, you're just an undercover fanboy. You're disgruntled. You're upset that he brushed you to the side and ignored your black hand. Didn't shake your black hand.
Okay,
right?
he's a celebrity. Okay, he's a fan. We all fan of him. What are you talking about?
No, I'm not a fan of him, sir.
If you see Russell Simmons on the street, what? You're not gonna try to say anything. You're not a celebrity. Nobody knows you. Everybody knows Russell Simmons.
Sir, Russell,
that doesn't mean that everybody's a fan of him. Do you know what it means to be a fanatic?
If I see you on the street, I'm not going to talk to you.
Sir, you have to let.
You're not a celebrity.
Sir, you have to let people speak.
There's a reason we pay money to see those people.
Sir, let people speak. Well, let's not do the shouting thing. Ronnie, you have the floor. And sir, I want you to just, take it easy. We're discussing what happened. Ronnie, go ahead.
I mean, it was kind of hard to make out what he's saying because it sounds like he has marbles in his mouth. But I got out most of it. No, sir, we're not all fans of Russell Simmons. Mm-mm. We're not all fans of every celebrity, okay? I'm here to speak objectively about Russell, and I've never tried to shake his hand. Yeah. So basically what you're telling us is that if he had have shaken your hand, you would still be a fan, and you'd probably be on the line right now simping for him, correct?
Yeah, probably. Yeah.
Okay.
He would have made me look good that day.
Okay. All right. Well, sir, I thank.
Yeah, he would have made me look good that day.
I thank you for calling back. Your donation is appreciated. You have a great day.
Can I tell you what happened with Russell Simmons?
You just did. He didn't shake your hand, and then that was it.
No. How? Why are you so mad? How? The whole thing was a setup. Kimora set him up.
Okay. All right. Thank you, sir. Thank you. He said enough. Whew, shit. You know, I've been invited to so many parties and shit like that, and Leo used to invite me to his home. They used to have like, a whole lot of niggas, hanging out at the house, and I just said, nah, I won't do that. Russell, Diddy's my nigga, man. All that shit they had going on out in the Hamptons, the white linen parties, all them Harlem niggas out there, and all that fly shit, and the fucking briquettes and the ostrich shoes and shit like this. I always said, nah, I'm okay. I never went. T, I got your donation via PayPal. I'm sorry, guys. On top of the live chat is the PayPal information. If you don't have Cash App and you want to contribute to the show, your donations are appreciated, okay? The PayPal information is starboyradio@gmail.com. Say again? starboyradio@gmail.com, all right? And William Bobo, I got your other donation. Thank you so much. Let's bring in one more call. Then I'm going to take a break, Ronnie, and come back and shift gears, all right? Area code 510. Is that, I think you sent it a donation. 510, yes, no, maybe? Who's on the line? Good afternoon, good evening, wherever you may be. 510.
Hey, good afternoon, Star.
Hey, how are you, man? It's cracking.
Out here in the Bay Area.
Okay.
Yeah, man, in regards to, and to correct you, I have not donated. I will donate as soon as I get off this phone call. So I got you, man. I don't want you to think you got money you didn't get yet. So, man, in regards to the Russell thing, it's too much dirt around his name. It's too many things, in hindsight. Yeah, he started Def Jam and all that cool stuff, but the way he sold the company, the drugs he was on, marrying old girl when she was young, the rush card stuff. And then he started doing that yoga, but he would do the yoga, but when you listen to his interviews, he still sounded mad. He didn't lose that part of him. Normally when you look at his brother, he became a Christian and things changed. He don't talk the same. He's on something different. All he did was get flexible. You know what I'm saying? Okay. Outside of that, the mentality didn't change. He's still dating all the young models.
Okay.
So he was still stuck in the 80s. You know what I mean? The rush card stuff was crazy. People, the way that played out on people. So hearing all this stuff now and then seeing the things with his daughters having to come up. And if he was really making paper like that, that 100K shouldn't have hurt him as much as it did. It seems like that really got him. So,
well, now, hang on a second. When you say stuck in the 80s, is that a bad thing? Because you see, a lot of people can have a certain set of principles from a different time, and those principles have more weight and value than what's going on today. Just hang on a second. Just because you can now text people and contact them faster doesn't mean that they're necessarily your friend. So what do you mean by he was stuck in the 80s? Please explain.
Well, what I mean by that is that, like, all right, in the 80s, he lived a certain kind of life, right? He lived that 80s New York life. He was on Sherm. He was doing whatever he was doing, right? Well, he tried to turn into the complete opposite of that by becoming a yogi master. And then all of a sudden, every interview, his legs are crossed and he's talking about Zen. There's a difference in mentality that comes when you do something like that. It's like, I got a lot of Muslim friends, but it's like, bro, the life you live and what the life that you're supposed to live, they're not one and the same. So I kind of look at that the same way. Okay. So to kind of see those kind of characteristics still exist in him when you turn into that lifestyle, those should be the first things that you try to get away from.
Okay.
That's a red flag, in my opinion.
Okay. I said early in the broadcast here, I have no proof, but I think under the influence of PCP, he may have been doing some things, man, that just were not kosher. I'll just say that, I have no proof, so I want to try and be respectful, but at the same time, he did leave the country. He's not here to face those charges, so there is a certain sense of doubt that people have. But what do you think about Kimora now And Ronnie gave us a great breakdown of how this even started. What do you think of Kimora now? You know, taking shots at him when she has been using his last name over the decades, clearly benefiting by way of her affiliation with him. What do you think of Kimora now?
I don't think any of them look good in this situation. You know, anytime family stuff is presented to the public, I don't think that makes anybody look good. What I'll say, though, is that at least in Kimora's case, she's standing on her square. So even in her talking about what she's talking about, she's bringing up the different baby daddies. She's, you know, like she's at least presenting her flaws. Russell acts like he's holier than thou. I've never heard Russell apologize or even try to remotely be anything other than, hey, I'm a yogi and I float when I think. You know what I'm saying? Like, okay. So if I had to choose between, if I'm standing on the outside looking in and I'm looking at, okay, who's being at least more transparent because we don't really know what's going on, I would go with the mom with the daughters that at least is that, yeah, I got all these baby daddies and blah, 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 and y'all know my pain. Outside of Russell, who, you know, even to the Bali thing, he's never said like, hey, you know, we apologize to women that felt any kind of way. I mean, it was a generic statement, but it feels more like, bro, you bounced and you try to make it seem like...
All right, now hang on a second. I'm going to jump in here, and I am going to give you the last word. To be fair, Russell has made statements with regards to respecting women since this whole situation started happening about him being accused of raping women. He has made those statements. I read those statements on multiple platforms over the years. Has he apologized? No. And you know what? Until you're convicted or going through a legal process, you shouldn't apologize. That would be stupid. That would be some type of admission of guilt. But now, hang on. I'm giving the last word again. You think Kimora Lee, who was there during the times of a lot of this stuff that was going on, you think she's innocent? And you think just because she's now sitting up on Instagram crying and playing in her hair, you think she's innocent?
Nah, no, not at all. I don't even think it's about like an innocence thing as much as it is if I'm looking at the both of them and I have to take one's word over the other, and if I just have to choose a side, then I'm going to go with hers over his. Because she got with him when he was like, she was like 16 years old. So that's all she's known is that man. And she came up off of him, the baby fat stuff, everything else. A lot of people don't know how present she was in the late 90s and the 2000s. MTV had her on doing the whole countdown of the best cribs and everything like that. So
I remember. I was there. I was there.
Right? Yeah, exactly. You were in the thick of the things back then, mainstream wise. Still are, but you know, there. But I mean, you know, she was with him since 16. She was one of them. So how would she look at it any different? You know what I mean? So maybe she wisened up a little bit. I'm not taking anything away from her. If she condoned it, then she needs to kind of go through the same, and maybe the women come out and say, hey, look, Kimora, you ain't no better.
All right. Hey, man, I thank you for your call, and I gave you the last word. Thank you.
Yes, sir. I appreciate it, man. Take it easy.
Okay. Yes, sir. Okay. All right. Ronnie, you want to stick around? I'm not saying you can't come back. I need to take a quick break. What do you want to do? Ruger, Ronnie.
Yeah, I sent you an article. I want you to take a look at it. I sent you a link, but I'm not giving Kimora a pass for being quote unquote transparent about the fact that she has different baby daddies. We all have eyes, and we can all see that she has mismatched kids. They didn't all obviously come from the same person. That's not a news flash. That's not breaking news. That's not being transparent.
Right. I tell you what, can you hang on and just let me take a 3-minute break. Let me run upstairs real quick, and we'll come back. Okay, Boss Hog back in the building. It's Tuesday afternoon, early evening. Ruger Ronnie is my co-host today. Ronnie, are you there? Give her a second.
Yeah,
okay.
I'm here.
Okay. All right. So let's continue our discussion. And you've brought some really, really good information to the table with regards to Kimora Lee Simmons. Again, still using Russell's last name, and her husband, who convicted. Does she still speak to him? Do you know? I mean, I would imagine so. I don't know how many kids they have together. Let me pull the information that you sent me.
By all accounts, from what I can see, it appears that they are estranged. They are not divorced, but they are estranged. But he is, in fact, about to go to jail soon. So. Okay.
Tim Lessner, for those who don't know, Leissner. Okay, German-born investment banker and a former managing director at Goldman Sachs. Yeah, so, okay, wait a minute. They have 2 children together, he and Kimora Lee Simmons, and she's never dropped the last name Simmons throughout her 2 marriages aside from Russell. She's never dropped the Simmons. She's always been...
Well, it opens doors for her.
I'm sorry, good. You were saying?
That name has opened a wealth of doors for her.
Yeah.
It's like you said, it's that name recognition.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Exotic F7, I got you donation. Let me make sure that I... Hold on a second. Something just happened. Oh, my goodness. Did I just shut down my goddamn stream? I hope not. Hold on. I just had some type of issue with my live stream. Hopefully we're still streaming live. Ronnie, can you see if we're still live? I just hit the wrong goddamn button.
Sure. I will check right now.
Okay. Exotic F7. We're good?
Yes.
Okay. Exotic F7 Savannah Kitten Mom, I got your donation. The bag got different, so you got different. Enjoy your day and wine. Hashtag sucker punch boo boo. Okay. Let me also go back to email and Cash App. I saw that Jonathan Majors made his first appearance in court today. He's going to trial, which is set for August the 3rd. And Megan Good was there by his side. What do you think of Megan Good, Ronnie? Do you care for her as an actress? Now holding down.
No. The couple movies that I did, the couple roles I have seen her in, I wasn't impressed. And I don't even understand this matchup because previously Jonathan Majors wasn't even checking for women who look like Megan Good. So I'm just a little confused by that matchup.
Pulling on the heartstrings of black women? I mean, the black audience is very forgiving. I mean, I don't even think it's a real relationship. I don't.
I think it's a relationship of convenience, especially for him to kind of garner some support in the situation that he's dealing with.
Yeah. Blade, I got your other donation. Blade says, Boosie has a snitch in his circle who is probably working with the feds in exchange for a lighter sentence, the same way Star used to do back in the 90s. Now, I never worked with the feds to take down an organization from the inside. No. That was a nice try, Blade. That was a nice try. I didn't have to. Everything that I did in terms of that sort of stuff was just me maneuvering, by myself. I had moved on from the Shower Posse, and I was never officially a member of the Latin Kings, King Walker, I got your donation, sir. Thank you for tapping in. Hold on. Okay, someone is sending me old news about Quando Rondo. That's old, okay? That's old. Thank you so much. Brian, I got your donation. Check your email. Okay, wait a minute. Wait. You just sent me something here about Quando Rondo. I got that. Yeah, that was from last week. And Brian, you sent me the other information about Jonathan Majors. So I got your emails. Thank you for your donation, okay? And let me just acknowledge somebody else here. Sophisticated ignorance. This is a clear attack on men and masculinity. Pay attention. She was by his side when he was doing his dirt. No sympathy for her and her daughter. Totally disgusting. Yeah, and as you said, Ronnie, she claims, Kimora Lee, that she went live and did all this because people were attacking her daughters. That's what she claims.
No, she.
Go ahead.
No. She's claiming that she's only going live because of the meme that Russell posted. She said, "You said ask the mothers. Well, here's the mother. I'm still speaking now, but I'm saying that it's my observation." That she went live to air him out because she saw all of the backlash that her and her daughters were getting.
Got you.
For, the whole Father's Day debacle.
Yeah, that's what I meant, that you felt this was a response to the tide, going against her and her daughters. Yeah. Hold on a second. Juno, I got your email. Nice hearing Ronnie on the show. Thank you so much. Okay. Guys, sit tight on their phones. I'm coming. Okay. I got to go. What's that? I'm sorry, Ronnie. You were saying?
You got that link I sent you?
I'm going there right now. Hold on a second. It's not the guy who's talking about. Okay, somebody sent information. I'll get back to you after the show. Newt8282 says bus driver had boy juice on his hands. Peekaboo. Smooth Gooch, I got your donation. That big-lipped bus driver needs chapstick. Okay, hang on a second. So, Ronnie, you sent me. Ooh, whoa, Ronnie, you took it back. Wait a minute. What is this? This is from 2007. Do you want to tell us about this? You sent me an article from Hip Hop DX. Pimp C airs out Russell Simmons, Neo, Atlanta, and much more. I'm going to read this while you tell us what's going on here, or what happened back in the days.
So this was back in 2007, and the August issue of the Ozone magazine. Okay. Rapper Pimp C had a lot to say about different people in the industry, and one of those people that he spoke on was Russell Simmons. And so he says, I don't know if you want me to edit what I'm going to say because
try and edit. Just he calls him Dick in the Booty, Russell Simmons, right?
Yes, he says he was talking about someone named Short Dog, another rapper, and he says, I just made peace with the little nigga, Short Dog, because on the cool, it really wasn't his fault. It was old Dick in the Booty Russell Simmons' fault for not taking the message back to him and telling him to change his name. Yeah, I said Dick in the Booty. I know what I'm talking about. Bitch, I'll air you out too. That's what he said.
All right, Peter Pimp C, a real one. Okay. Hey, now didn't I don't want to go too far left, but was it Pimp C who allegedly has a sex tape with Beyonce? Anybody know that, or am I doing too much? You ever hear about that, Ronnie? Or was that my homie
Whispers, but I'm not sure if it was ever confirmed.
Listen, or was that my homie Pimpin' Ken? I thought that was Pimp C. Okay, we're doing too much right now. We're doing too much. Guys, phone lines are open. We're taking calls. Me and Ruger Ronnie here just going through this stuff here with Kimora Lee Simmons, the daughters. I haven't gone in on the daughters. They're young. I like the fact that they're college educated. Let me say that again. Are they clout chasing? Yes. But they're college educated, and Russell has forgiven them. I don't like what they did in terms of trying to shame their father, but we're talking about all this, okay? Sino, the God, sit tight. I'll respond to you after the show. Sino, the God, all right? Benny, I got your donation. Benny, you're talking too crazy for the afternoon show. I'm going to save this. To be fair, you're making a reference to what Russell Simmons used to, or how Russell Simmons used to reference Asian women. Not me. He said that on the Star and Buck Wild show. Anyway, thank you for your donation. Lex Diamond's got your donation. Salute, fam. Shorty want $1. Okay. And Larry, I got your donation. Star plus Ronnie equals 100. Okay, thank you for your donation. I think this caller was on. Is this the bus driver again? Sir, is this you, the bus driver? Who's calling back here? 702. Yes, no, maybe.
Hey, how you doing, man?
Okay,
Hello.
sir, we spoke to you already. I spoke to you already. You got your point across?
No.
Okay, I spoke to you. Yeah, I know your number. Hold on a second. Pamela, hi Pamela. I got your PayPal. Thank you so much. Yeah, Pamela, I'm still looking for information. I don't know. Salute to the female bloggers. I have no knowledge of whether that really happened. Papoose, the fight with he and Easy, the blog captain. Ronnie, you used to be in the battle rap, yes? Do you still keep eye on things or no? Do you know about the Papoose and Easy, the blog captain situation?
No, I'm not really up to speed on that. Papoose really hasn't been relevant to me for quite some time. And I'm not saying that to disparage his rap career. I think he's an amazing lyricist, but it just never worked out for him. And so here we are.
Holy smokes. I just got an email. Ronnie, can you Google tax tone sentenced to 35 years?
Sure. And I also sent you search results regarding that whole Pimp C, Beyonce sex tape allegation.
Okay.
There are results.
I just want to be sure on this. I don't want to just spit misinformation. Was he sentenced today? Troll babies? Anybody want to chime in?
I'm not seeing anything about his sentencing today.
Okay, Inner City Press. What is Inner City Press? I have no idea what that is. That's just one source. I'm not even going to mention that again until we get some really more solid information. Wait a minute. Can somebody confirm? Troll babies? Can someone send me a link? Hang on a second. Here's my email address on the screen with regards to tax tone. Give us a call. I don't want to, repeat misinformation. Okay. What about Say Cheese TV? They should have the updates here, huh? And let me go to the email that you sent, Ronnie. Folks, we're taking our time today. I do research in the afternoons, in case you don't know. Ruger Ronnie is here with me. Let me find Ronnie's. Okay, so much. No Star, they can't sue his ex-wife. No, sir, I don't agree with you, James. Anybody can be sued. Anybody can be sued. We are the country that lives by frivolous lawsuits. Don't get it twisted. Oh, okay. Wow. Okay. Pimpin' Ken, my old homie. Haven't seen him since 2000. So supposedly, this is alleged. I don't even know why I'm going in this goddamn direction. There was a sex tape with Bay. That's all I'll say. Alleged, I don't know. But thank you, Ronnie, for the email. Anything on Taxstone? Can someone send me a link, please? Do you say anything, Ronnie?
No, all I'm saying is references to the fact that he was convicted and that he's awaiting sentencing.
Yeah.
There are no new articles showing that a sentence was handed down.
Okay, hold on a second. Gem Star. Ronnie, we got a lot of noise in the background. Can you hear me?
Yes.
Okay.
Do you hear noise in mine?
Yeah. You're the only person on the line. Okay, Gem Star says Tax Tone was just sentenced to 35 years. Star, are you going to donate to his commissary to make sure he has an unlimited supply of honey buns? Okay, let me Google this again. I don't want to just blurt this out if this is not true. Find anything?
No.
Okay, Florida Boy.
Maybe they can send it.
Florida Boy Jay, call in. I want the source. Oh, you know who I should call? Give me a second. Where's AV? Or AG? I'm calling AG, guys. Okay, I see stuff on Twitter. Okay, I've got Inner City Press. Tax Tone just sentenced to 35 years. Ronnie, I'm going to email this to you, okay?
Okay.
Okay. Maybe this is just like breaking news. That could be the case. Okay, guys, on Twitter, at Inner City Press. I say again, let me just put this in the live chat. Looks official. Holy smokes. Wow. Tax Tone sentenced to 35 years. Let me know if you get that email, Ronnie. And if you can put me on mute and listen to that guy, Ronnie, that would be a big help.
Will do. I'll listen to it right now.
Okay, I'll be right back. Okay, AGTV says he's out of the country. Let me change my showrunner. Waiting on Florida Boy Jay to call in. For a confirmation. Tax Tone just got a 35-year sentence. I'm going to put this on the screen. Okay, I'm getting a bunch of text messages now. I'm going with it. Ronnie's going to listen to this, and we will try and approach it. Nobody cares about Raz-B getting knocked out in the studio. Yo, Raz-B came up in the studio, wherever that was. Was that in Texas somewhere? Talking about I want all this smoke from whoever, however, and then pow, whoever cleaned his clock. I'm sure that person's gonna be on the come up. Okay. Let's go with it. 35 years. Wow. Podcaster Tax Tone, according to Inner City Press. 35 years, folks. That's the official word, thus far. Okay, Ronnie's phone dropped out. Give her a second. She'll call back. Okay. People are sending in emails in. And this is from a guy who's at the courthouse. So I guess it's very, very early. Florida Boy J, is that you, sir? Florida Boy J, area code 904.
Yo, real niggas is on the line, man. That Tax Tone news is fresh out the press, man. It's fresh on the block.
Okay.
You're probably the first platform that's a live reporting on it right now, unless there's some live stream on YouTube.
I'm not tripping off of that, but what do you know? Did you listen to Inner City Press? I see someone speaking from the club, from Twitter, pardon me. What's going on here? Did you listen to what he said?
Yeah, listened to him. Pretty much Pat Stone was trying to blame the whole situation on Troy Ave as to why he brought the gun in. But for the most part, they gave him consecutive sentences based off of the fact of the 4 victims. And, just to show that they were throwing the book at him, on top of the fact that he pled out to another federal case. The prosecution was saying the only reason why he pled to that was he didn't want to leave himself open to do even more time, seeing that this sentence was coming up in itself. So he's going to be going upstate 35 years. They just hit him with it. Bangus family was in there. He was in there. He had supporters that was there, but at the end of the day, they gave Taxstone 35 years up the road.
Okay.
It is what it is.
Ronnie, are you back? Where's Ronnie?
Yes, I am back.
Okay.
Hey, Florida Boy Jay.
Ronnie, what's poppin', man? How you doing, man?
I'm doing great. It's good to hear your voice.
Yeah, absolutely. You too.
What'd you hear, Ronnie? Did you check out that link on Twitter?
Yes, from the Inner City Press. And so the individual speaking, the reporter, that appears to be his website, the Inner City Press, as well. And he said that in his statements prior to sentencing, that Taxstone blamed Troy Ave. He actually called him Troy Avenue. He blamed Troy Ave for bringing the gun to the club and said that he was just trying to defend himself. So it looks like he didn't really accept responsibility, that he was just trying to push the blame off onto someone else, and that might have factored into him getting such a lengthy sentence.
35 joints. Anybody know how much time of that he's expected to do? Florida Boy Jay, you've never been to the penitentiary, right? FBJ?
No, never been to prison. Been in jail about 5 times and never went to the state prison. So, no, I wouldn't know how much time he would have to do, especially with state laws, federal laws, especially in different states. You might have to do, 85%. Who knows? I don't know for officials, so maybe somebody can call in and get that information.
You say you've been to jail 5 times. What was the longest length that they kept you for? I forget.
About 5 weeks.
5 weeks? Damn, nigga. So you did over 30 days?
Yeah.
I didn't know that. Anything you want to tell us? Did you have to square up with anybody? Was this in Duval County? Where'd you do more than 30 days?
Yeah, Duval County. Yeah, you can look me up. You can look me up in the system. Since,
I'm just asking.
I was 18. Yeah,
I'm just asking. So
it was a few times. They carried my bunk out. I didn't have to carry it on my own. I never had any issues. Never had to file a complaint or a harassment. I was in danger for my life. So no, it was like going to in-school suspension. It got to the 4th and 5th time when I started seeing niggas I knew on the regular, and it just felt like I was like going to the club again or just going to the corner store where I was like, we need to slow this shit down, respectfully. So yeah.
Now they're in the live chat saying cap.
Yeah, they can say what they want. You can look me up. Go ahead. Have at it. This isn't sorry. You got my government. You can look me up.
I'm not doing no goddamn searching to see if you did jail. We're just talking.
Yeah, we got 5 of them like Kobe. right here. You know what I'm saying? We had to relax.
Okay.
Never had to go up the road, but
Anything you want to say with regards to Russell Simmons and Kimora Lee? Simmons, Florida Boy J.
Oh, yeah, of course.
Please.
This is what happens when you are a man of money and access and you grab some bum obscure woman that never had to accomplish anything after her life because she treats you as if y'all got the bag together. In all reality, you create the bag big enough for her to eat off of it. But the delusion over years and years of her success off the back of your name, as you said earlier, nobody cares about Kimora Lee. We don't know who Kimora Lee is. For all we know, she's running a nail tech salon or a refried rice store outside of the nail tech salon. But because he has the Simmons last name, that gives her access, her kids access. Even the men who want to date her don't want to date Kimora Lee. They want to date Kimora Lee Simmons because everybody eats off the Russell gravy train. And now, Father's Day comes around, Juneteenth comes around. It's, can black men have 2 days where we don't get bashed, where it's not blame black men? She hops out, her doors hop out, they crash out. And we understand things Russell Simmons has done, but this needs to be a lesson to you bum-ass niggas who get a little bit of bread.
Okay.
And now you want to go pluck somebody out from the bottom. Remember, if she ain't got a bag, something to bring to the table, don't mess with her, bro. It's not worth it.
Okay. Well, now, to be fair, he met her when she was very young. Again, industry rumors say 15. And at that time, he was probably looking to plant his seed in fertile soil, as so many guys from that era and prior, they did. A lot of your, not to go too far back, but your prophets and others, they were looking for, non-polluted wombs. So, at one time, she was the apple of his eye. I don't know what eventually happened, but I think that she has knowledge of the accusations, the allegations, and the claims. Any thoughts on that, Florida Boy Jay?
My thoughts on that is things we already know. That's just like if one of Diddy's baby moms came out here and said, we have tapes with the boy. These are things that are pretty much common knowledge. We like, Ronnie, just drop them already. How many niggas gotta die screaming Illuminati that y'all touching each other in these Hollywood parties for a real tape to come out? We don't care anymore. Either drop it or shut up. The only thing I'm getting from this, based off my own life experience and based off what I see Russell Simmons, is when you take a bum bitch out the gutter and bring her up and get her in gated communities with access, get her driving new cars with the digital dash.
Okay.
You know what I'm saying? She use your name and clout to get in certain spaces and start getting the delusion like she helped build the empire when you just plucked her out and chose her. You have situations like this.
Okay.
So my niggas, have somebody that's going to bring something to the table before you put kids in it.
Okay. Hey, man, good to talk to you. Anything else you want to mention, or did you get a chance?
Lastly,
yes, sir.
We're going live tonight. Respect the Facts podcast. We're going to be dropping The Bad Got Different, so I got different teas tonight.
Nice.
We got 2 iterations of them.
Nice.
We're going to be going live on YouTube probably like an hour after the show ends. So, you guys have a great day. Ronnie, I'm going to holler at you. Have a great day. I appreciate you calling into the show. I know everybody on live chat's going crazy when they heard your voice, man. You guys have a great show.
Good to talk to you. Thank you, FBJ.
You too, FBJ.
Thank you, sir. Okay. All right. Ronnie's still there. What else do we need to comb through? I don't want us to forget anything, Ronnie, because you brought this to my attention yesterday. I forgot what I was doing something in the morning, and you said, what did you say? You said it's hot off the presses or something, and then you sent me the links.
Yeah, I hit you with the Kai Cenat energy. Yo!
Right.
Yo!
Right. Are we forgetting anything? And listen, I like Kimora. Kimora, you've been great to me. Always been so respectful, and oh man, I want to see her in the steel bracelets though. She knows a lot, and if you shake her, how many other people will come out and talk? Oh, how about this?
Go ahead.
How about this, Ronnie? How about this? Do you think if they handcuff and arrest and charge Kimora with some type of conspiracy, sex trafficking, rape, do you think Russell will come back to the States? Or will he just stay in Bali and say, let her handle that shit? Oh my, I think that's a big question. Come on.
The kids are no longer, so it's not like he would need to come here to look after them.
Right.
And now we're talking about he's claiming that they took $250 million from him.
Right.
So, no, I don't think he would come back and say, take me instead. In fact, I think he would be the one to drop a dime to the prosecutors and say, hey, she was holding the tape. She was holding the camcorder. She picked out the boys.
She grown. She grown. She wasn't grown when I met her, but she grown now. Hold that, shorty. Wow.
Well, she said, in her words, she said I was a sophomore in high school. Now, when I was a sophomore in high school, I was 15 years old. So give or take a year, depending upon when you were born, she was at least 15, if not 16. Okay. And that's what she said yesterday.
Okay. Folks, we're looking for the mess, the tea. If anybody has information, please reach out to me via email. Somebody's going to pop up soon. This is not just going to blow over just because Kimora got up, and her daughters got up on lives and tried to kick this man's back in. I truly think somebody else is going to come around now and kick her back in. Anyway, Ronnie, nice to talk to you again. Thank you for keeping me up to speed. You and I talk all the time anyway, so I'm sure we'll catch up, if not tomorrow, the next day. Anything else in closing? I'm going to shut this down soon.
No, not unless you'd like me to reread Pimp C's quote in closing. I think we had a great conversation.
One more time.
I think it was important.
Read it one more time.
One more time. I'll read it one more time. Okay, here is Pimp C in his own words. Yeah, I just made peace with the little nigga short dog because on the cool, it really wasn't his fault. It was old dick in the booty Russell Simmons' fault for not taking the message back to him and telling him to change his name. Yeah, I said dick in the booty. I know what I'm talking about, bitch. I'll air you out, too.
This has been a messy show. Ooh, child.
Put that where?
All right, great talking to you. We'll catch up soon, Ronnie. Thank you.
All right, sir. Take care.
All right, bye. Ruger Ronnie.